What?
All righty, we are going live here, you guys. This is Ann for a host of the Yams 3C talk show. Yes, we are live here in Memphis, Tennessee today, February the 2nd, which is Groundhog Day. And did the groundhog see his shadow? Dellguan? I didn't keep up with that either. Mike?
Man, I don't know.
Y'all, you know, I don't either. But welcome, everybody. We still have a few people that's going to join us today. Waiting on Robert. They'll join us. And Clinton and Quinten are joining us. We have today another Yams correspondent, Dellguan Coleman, and Mr. Mike Love with us today. Hello, Mike.
Hey.
Hey, Dellguan. We're talking today, before we actually get the conversation started, we'll give everybody the opportunity to share. Please share Dellguan, please share Mike. I'm going to share it too. We're talking today, you guys, part 2 of this ongoing conversation, controversy about TYRE Nichols, who was killed, I think on January the 7th is when the actual incident happened, and he died 3 days later. His services were yesterday here in Memphis at Mississippi Boulevard Christian Church, and it has gotten worldwide news coverage. Everybody was in town. I don't know if you guys saw that or not, at his services yesterday. So today's topic is remembering TYRE Nichols, the reality, the rumors, and the repercussions for the officers that took his life, you guys. So I'm gonna give us a few minutes here. Let me share this on my pages that you guys get a chance to share it. Hey, Chad. Chad, you want to join us? Chad Rose says, hey, fam. Let me share this real quickly, you guys. Hold on. We're waiting for Quinten White and for Robert Johnson, my co-host. I don't know if he's going to make it. And then Quinten Streeter is going to join us too. For Robert Johnson. Who got the volume up? Oh, that feedback. Okay. Did you share Dellguan?
It won't let me.
It won't let you share it. I'm gonna share it in your 901.
It says you can only do it.
Okay, hold on. Yeah, I gotta make it public. I keep forgetting to do that. Hold on.
Only the host can share it.
I can share it. I mean, you'll be able to share it here in a second. Let me go back to it. Something about when I go through Zoom, it makes it just for my friends. So hold on. We're going to have a very critical and conscious conversation here today, you guys. Okay, now try it, Dellguan. Chad says, wish I could at a baby dinner, at a birthday dinner, but I'm watching. Okay. Hi, Chad. Chad is the first Yams talk show, FIG Productions, Black History Maker honoree. I honored him yesterday. I'll be honoring the two of you guys too this month. Dellguan Coleman is a Black History Maker, along with actor, comedian, and entrepreneur that's with us tonight, Mr. Mike Love. So congratulations. Hi, Robert.
What's up? What's up, folks?
Welcome. I'm glad to hear from you. I was like, okay, I gotta be Robert. How you doing?
All is well. How about yourself?
All righty. What's life like in Detroit? Is it cold?
Cold. It's cold. It's supposed to be 0 degrees in the morning. Headed down to that direction right now.
Oh, wow. Oh, I know we talked about tonight. You was like, Amber, you took the cold weather back down south with you.
Right.
But we are talking, Robert, like we talked last night. I told you, we're going to talk again about TYRE Nichols. We're remembering TYRE Nichols today, you guys. The reality of what has happened, the rumors that have surrounded everything that's happened, and the repercussions of the actions of those officers and the whole city, you guys. Fortunately, we had peaceful protests. Not a lot happened. We didn't burn the city down or tear up a lot of Black businesses and those type things, thankfully. The world was watching. When I would get up in the morning and turn on the news and see Good Morning America and the Today Show, they never show Memphis, but this last week, it's been Memphis. Memphis has not been a good way. So I do want to talk about that. Dellguan, have you been up on it, the latest things that's been happening, with the 5 officers? It's more than 5 officers now that have been let go, lost their jobs and being prosecuted, hopefully.
Yeah. Now, being the fact that they're looking up under the hood, you can kind of tell it was personal. So come to find out
Yeah.
that he was dealing with his ex-girl or whatever.
Yeah.
And, they took it out on him. So,
So, Robert,
just a lot of self-hate.
Okay, self-hate. We talked about that last week. Define self-hate in this situation, Dellguan. But the officers, if you guys didn't know, there's rumors and there's really some logic or some facts to the rumors that one of the young men, the officers, his ex-wife or the mother of his child was dating TYRE. And this attack was personal. The attack looked personal to me. What do you mean by self-hate, Dellguan? On this particular case, just these officers.
To do somebody like that, like they already had the advantage on him. He was handcuffed, so he couldn't move.
Yeah.
He was like 150, already tired, and for them to literally stand him up and punch him, it looked like a movie. But then I kept, the first time I saw it, I was like, man, it felt personal, man. It didn't feel like, like
a traffic stop.
Yeah, just like with Rodney King, you could tell it was a personal beating, the way they was beating him.
Yeah.
It was personal. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like Rodney King was fighting them back or biting their arms. Yeah. This guy wasn't even fighting back. He was just literally just taking it.
And he was like, what did I do? What did I do?
Yeah.
So, Mike, I know, Mike, you kind of hesitated. You didn't want to watch the video. Did you watch a little bit of it at all, Mike?
Only what I saw on the news. I ain't watch it.
Completely.
I don't want to see brothers beating a brother.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was personal or what. I just know that it's bad.
It's bad. Did you get to watch any of the clips, Robert?
No, I'm like Mike. I chose not to. This is the first time, when it's funny because it's ironic because when it was white on black, I watched it. But when it was black on black, I just could not bury my soul to think that brothers, regardless, it's one thing you want to fight a guy because he's dating he's dating your wife one-on-one.
Yeah.
But when you get all of your boys and then your boys work for police department, prospectively, if indeed we find out that this is the case, I don't want to be reckless with my assumptions, but that piece of me, it's just like, bro, you some kind of coward when you rolling like that. Because if I got a problem with any guy, I'm going to him personally.
Yeah.
Whether I think he can beat me or not, if I got a problem with him, I'm gonna have to handle it with him.
Yeah.
Right.
My first thing is to talk and try to, say, hey, this is what's up. I would appreciate it if you do this. And then if not, then we can take it to the next level. But to take 5 of your boys or 4 of your boys or 3 of your boys and then to handle it that way, and you got authority and you're a police officer, that's another level of discontent for me. So I just couldn't watch it.
So it's interesting that you would say that you could watch it when George Floyd had the white police officer had his knee on his, you could watch that.
Yeah, it's a couple of different things.
Okay.
I have to functionalize myself what white guys do, right? Okay. And how they interact with us over time. And so, as you know, when I was 13 years old, that happened to me, kind of with the George Floyd situation. And so, I was just going along, doing nothing to nobody, had an early permit to drive my grandmother around at 13. You couldn't get it till you were 15. Police had me sitting on the side of the road in my church clothes. It was spring in Michigan. The curb is wet. And so for me, it was like, I kind of have a disdain for white police officers anyway. And so when I see it,
right? You were in a white city in Detroit, right?
I was in Dearborn, which is kind of like the city not to be in if you want to be a black guy.
Yeah, I've got.
And so, long story short, I've had those interactions time and time again with
white
police
officers or black officers.
With white officers. I've never, black officers, what's up, dog? You know, hey, you were speeding. What's going on? You know, they're just very frank and very, what's up, though? Yeah, man, I was speeding, my bad. Sometimes I'll even pay for the ticket if it's a brother. If it's a white boy, I'm going to court. He's not getting, you know what I'm saying? I just can't stomach it. And so, yes, I have to admit that I can't watch it. And I'm not saying what the brothers did was right, because we've already admitted that that's cowardly. Well, and I'm with Dellguan. It's got to be self-hate, because if somebody's leaving you, and then you got to go to somebody else to put on them what you couldn't trust to the person who was in the relationship with you, whether that's through counseling, whether that's, you know, hey, let's make it work. But now you're in a situation where it's just, you're going to try to beat up everybody who dates the person? Come on. This is a whole nother level of crazy.
Okay, so when I watched the video, you guys, of course, they told us it was a traffic stop, and he was driving reckless. And in Memphis, hi, Quinten. Quinten White has joined us. How you doing? Glad you joined us.
How's everybody doing?
Welcome to Yams 3C, my brother. This is Quinten White, actor with podcast Quinten Speaks. First time on Yams 3C. He wanted to join us. I tried to join his show last night, had some technical difficulties. Quinten, again, we are talking about and remembering TYRE NICHOLS, the reality, the rumors, and the repercussions. My question to the team, the first question of the night was, did you watch the video?
I did not. I couldn't watch it. And I was listening to the brothers. Well, first off, how's everybody doing? I'm sorry. I was listening to Dellguan, and he mentioned self-hate.
Self-hate,
I didn't watch it, but and maybe I'm jumping ahead, Amber, but it was sad to find out that it was us that.
What made you not watch it?
The fact that I knew he died. You know, I mean, we already had most of the details that he was beat to death, so it was like there's no need for me watching it.
Okay,
you know,
he didn't want the image. A lot of people said they didn't want that image in their head, and I didn't either. But as a journalist, I really had to watch it so that I could speak factually about what I saw. Yeah, it was disturbing. I cried, and I still cry when I talk about it. I haven't watched it, but I watched it twice, I believe. And Mike, you told me too that you watched a little bit of it. I know you have problems. You know, what was your?
Yeah, I only watched what I saw on the news. Yeah. And the disturbance part to me is when you caught in a situation with the police, we gotta figure out a way to just stay alive.
Yeah.
And the part I saw on the news was them getting him out the car.
They snatched him out the car. Yeah.
And he questioning why they snatching him. I done been pulled over many a times. I done been to jail on BS. And I had a means to fight. And we all don't have a means to fight. So when you had a means to fight, then you don't have to settle for what they give you. And the last few times that I had to deal with the police, which wasn't my fault, I had to tell a lawyer that I'm not taking no deal. Yeah. And the first thing they say well, it's gonna go upstairs and it costs a lot of money, but that's what I work for. I don't care about the money part. I just know I'm not gonna take whatever they're trying to give me, which is always some BS. Yeah. So as they snatched that brother out the car, that brother trying to figure out what they doing, and they don't care to tell you. They already was gonna do what they was gonna do, period. So therefore, at that point, you just gotta make a decision on what you gonna do. Either you gonna fight to death or you just gonna lay there and die. But it ain't no other way out. They was gonna do what they was gonna do when they snatched them. So I don't question them folks. I don't ask them shit. I don't say nothing. I give them my information and I let them do what they gonna do. And then some of them are sarcastic. Yeah. And like the brother said, I always had to deal with the white ones. I would never, even in this instance after this, I would never expect another brother to do me like that.
Never.
Never.
I don't expect it.
Well, in the video, when they all had body cams on. then they pulled the videos from those police cameras that are on the telephone poles or electric poles or whatever. And all of them showed that when he stopped his car, they bum rushed his car. One of the officers opened his car door and yanked him out. That is not what you do to a traffic stop for somebody who has not done anything, is not armed. They snatched him out the car and immediately started beating him. They didn't ask him any questions. Why are you driving recklessly? Or give me your license. They opened the door and just immediately yanked him out and started punching him and beating him. You guys, it was a personal attack to me. You could see that.
So
Go ahead, Mike.
I'm gonna say that's what you do when you don't have no respect for your job.
Come on.
We done seen officers do that over and over and over again.
Right.
Those guys, just like when you do that type of training, when you go in, they tear you down. And then they build you back up to what they want you to be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But in our culture, it's two sides. And people may not want to agree with it, but it's a white side and it's a black side.
Come on now.
That's just what it is. And those brothers thought they was with the white side.
Wow.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Hey, Mike, a question for you, man, if you don't mind me asking. Now, to piggyback on what you're saying, I wouldn't expect that either as far as us to do that. You would expect, especially if it's multiple black men, you would, if one black man or two of them start tripping, you would expect the other three to be like, hold up, man.
Yep.
First off, we ain't gonna get caught up in this.
Yes,
we ain't
sir.
gonna get caught up in that. So I agree with you, Mike, but I'm gonna ask you a question, man, if it's okay.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
When you stated, Mike, that because you've had experience with police, I haven't had that much experience with them. So I'm asking you, like, when you state that, hey, when they pull me over, I give them my information, I don't say nothing. In his case, he snatched out before if somebody just snatching you out the car, what would you say to that, Mike? Like, what is your response?
You know what I would
like? What about? Yeah.
In that instance, what I would do, because I know the police, I would have just laid down. And then the difference between, for me in this case, the difference, they argument gonna be is we told him to get on the ground and he wouldn't get on the ground. Yeah. We didn't know if he had a gun. We didn't know if he was a threat. We didn't know. We told him to get on the ground. He steady asking questions, trying to stand up. So that's why they not gonna get first degree murder. They gonna get second degree if they get second degree because he fought, and that's what they gonna say.
Yeah, I'm seeing manslaughter at this moment because unless there's a clear discrepancy in the guy having some real relationship with the woman who he was dating, and all of the things are kind of confirmed. Right now, I'm seeing manslaughter because he didn't follow directions. And, I think we need to tell each other, not just because I'm thinking if somebody snatched me out the car, my initial issue is to defend myself.
Yeah, that's fight or flee is innate in all of us. If you feel attacked, you're going to want to fight back.
And so, having on 7 occasions, having as a professional, as a person who has no issues with law, as a person who is an upstanding citizen, having 7 interactions with them, which on 3 occasions, so almost 50% of the time that I interact with them, they're doing something that attracts to me. So I don't trust them as far as I can see them. And I'm speaking to you professionally, so much so that after those 7 times, I came up with a regimen that every time a police officer stops me, I call 911. Because
that's a good idea, Rob. You talked about
the reason that I do it is because the 3 times that they've stopped me since those 7 atrocities, be advised, coming up to the car, this is what you hear on the cops CB. Be advised that the person that you stopped is called 911. They're listening. You're being recorded. So why do you have to say that if you if you was going to be on the up and up anyway.
Yeah.
So they already know. They're on 2 of the 3 times I heard that. And so for me, I'm calling them every time because it's like, okay, sir, you can go all 3 times.
Wow.
So I call 911. All of a sudden, I could just go on the last 3 times. Yeah. And so for me, it was like you were stopping me for some BS anyway.
Yeah. Courtney Johnson has joined us. She says, wow, concerning Yams 3C correspondent Quinten Streeter has joined us. Welcome, Quinten. Can you hear me, Quinten?
Whoops, sorry, I was muted. How's everybody doing tonight?
All righty. Quinten, did you watch the video of TYRE?
Nah, I couldn't watch it.
Wow. Wow.
What's
your reasoning for not watching it?
I mean, like I had mentioned last week, man, I suffer from Crohn's disease too. Yeah. And when I see him, I see me. And not just the Crohn's disease, but
a black man.
I've had run-ins with the police. Even when I was locked up, I was abused by the police on several occasions. And so it brings back too many memories. That part of my life I try to erase.
Yeah.
I remember it and I use it as a stepping stone to not get involved in, activities that will lead me down that path again.
Yeah.
But to have to, to this day, I don't watch movies or programs that have like jail scenes in it or just is about jail just because it brings back
for your mental health then basically,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, definitely. And so and it's even to the point that sometimes even when I see police on the street, even though they're not doing anything to me, they're not even paying attention to me, I still sometimes feel, a little bit of anger towards them because of what I, have gone through and what I've seen. So I couldn't watch my brother, get abused like that.
It is very disturbing, you guys. So
yeah, I couldn't watch it.
I watched it from the journalistic. I didn't want to watch it either, but I knew that in order to talk about something, being what I do, the hosting the show and in journalism, I needed to watch it to get my own sense of understanding as to what happened so that I wouldn't be speculating or going off of hearsay. And what I saw was disturbing. I cried for a long time and I still cry when I think about it because this young man, he was unarmed. They didn't ask him any questions. They just opened the car door when they stopped him and yanked him out the car. There was no put your hands on the steering wheel, no put your hands up or get out the car with your hands up. They opened the door and just yanked him out. And he was like, what I do? And they just all of them attacked him, you guys. So I knew when I saw the video, way before they started talking about the rumors that part of the reason why they did what they did was because he was dating one of the officers' ex-wives or baby mama's, baby mama or whatever. I knew that wasn't a personal attack. That's not police protocol for a traffic stop to yank somebody out the car, even though they may have been driving recklessly. They say he was taking pictures of the son, actually. So to watch it, it is traumatizing if you've had any bad experiences, but it's also to watch to learn some lessons from it, what not to do when the police pull you over. That is what we've got to teach our young kids, our young Black boys, specifically, how to handle the police when they are stopped, you guys. Quinten, what do you think about that? Do you have a son? Don't you have a teenage son or a grown son, Quinten?
I got nephews and 2 daughters. I look at the police as public servants because that's exactly who they are.
That's who they are.
They're there to serve and protect against people who are actually breaking the law. And yes. I mean, if I'm speeding, I broke the law. It is what it is.
Yeah.
You don't
expect to be beaten to death or beaten or handcuffed or anything because you were speeding.
Right. And I do believe as a Black person, there is a certain way that you handle the police because of the times we live in, and we have to pay special attention. We just can't be belligerent or mouth off because we feel like we're in the right, because clearly we see what's going on, that even our brothers as police officers will beat us, stomp us, and kill us to death.
That's the horror in the whole thing. Yeah.
And that's the horror. It doesn't matter if it used to be, a white cop stopped me. Now, the reality is if a cop stops you, period.
Yeah.
because they're all trained under, like Mike said, they bring you in, they tear you down, and then they build you up and they mold you into what they want you to be. So it's just blue. It ain't even black and white no more. It's just those guys in blue against us.
The Blue Brotherhood.
The Blue Brotherhood, you know? And I mean, a lot of that is rooted, you know, in Freemasonry, and a lot of, you know, what goes on with the police. It's all, it's a blueprint. You know, it's already been mapped out. You know, if you really study Freemasonry and you know how it's all ran, it's very, very, very structured to a T. And they run the same play on all of us. So, you know, we can really see what's really going on right now.
Okay. And so what do you guys think should happen to these officers? Because if you watch the videos in its entirety, there were other officers, paramedics and sheriff's department. One of the county sheriffs, he was the one a white guy who actually tased him. And he has been relieved of duty. I don't think that he's been charged. I haven't read the latest on him just yet, but they all came and they chased him home. They hunted him down like he was a wild animal, you guys, if you watch the video in its entirety. And do you think that those officers should get life in prison or the death penalty, or do you think they'll pay any price other than losing their jobs? Do you think they'll be convicted of anything in a court of law?
Here's what I think.
Okay.
You know, if we all went somewhere and we all trust each other, I'm talking about this group right here.
Okay.
And one of us, we found that we were in trouble, but one of us had misintent about the trouble we were in. And you all will kind of keep that person's back, not knowing whether that person had a misintent on the situation. And so I'm not making excuses for anyone, but I'm just saying, just in a normal situation, when people stick together, they stick together. Mm-hmm. But if one of us in this group has misintent and we don't know it, and we think the person is just responding like everybody else, we're going to do what we need to do. And so I see that happening first. And so I agree with what you're saying. We need to teach people how to respond to the police. But then on the second hand, now the question is, after I respond crazy or you respond crazy, if three of us are responding crazy, the other three should be saying, hey, and I think somebody said it already, cool your jets, slow down.
That's the part that's what made me know that this was intent.
Let me step in and handle this interview. Why don't you go take a break for a minute? Yeah. And I didn't see any of that.
Nope.
Because I didn't see any of that, because I can see how just with this group right here, we will back up each other. And so, but I'm saying after that did not happen, it seemed personal to me. I mean, just for the 30-second snippet that I saw passing the store in the gas station. It's funny because every time I see something is in the gas station.
I know, I was gonna say.
And so the bigger issue is, do I think that they're gonna get murder one? No, because we can't prove intent. We can't say that they woke up that morning and they were gonna go kill the boy. Can I say that they're gonna get murder two? I doubt it, because he didn't follow directions. So now
they didn't give him no directions. They didn't give him.
But I mean, in the first thing is, we know the new law in Tennessee says that if a police officer atrocities you on your personal property, you have the right to respond with a weapon.
Oh, really?
So most people don't know that that's in place. So if they now come to your house, if they now come to your car, if they come to your house or your car, you have the right to respond with the same force.
Yep.
And so the question is now is going to put police in the state of Tennessee on a high alert situation.
They are.
So a traffic stop now can turn into the same thing for them. I like it because now they know how we feel. But on the other hand, when you have youngsters who are not responding like they need to, then you're going to get an over response. You see? And so now the question is, are they going to get murder one or murder two because they have the ability to respond? I think no. I think manslaughter at the most. Yeah. I agree that they should already been fired. I think that not only the person who tased them, but there was a secondary person, as I understand, who may have taken pictures outside of the person who took a picture. Yeah. Everybody who was there should be fired because no one at that time said anything. And then I think that they should be. And here's the thing: you get fired in one county, can you go to the next one? The answer to that is yes.
Yes.
Can you go to another state? The answer to that is yes. And I think we should have laws in place where that follows you, because you can now go
a record like your record. If you went to jail, it follows.
Yes. If any one of us get a felony, it goes across state lines. And I think the same should happen with police officers. If they try somebody and we trust them at that high level, they should be held accountable across state lines. And that's it. But to answer your question, I'm saying manslaughter. I don't think anything higher. And I don't see the prosecutor forcing or producing evidence very quickly to bring up charges very quickly. And I think and here's my big question. Where is Black Lives Matter at this moment right now? Where are they?
Like, where is Black Lives Matter? We talked about this.
No idea. They ain't where they supposed to be.
Because it seems like the old saying here, Dellguan, we talk about this too. When Black people kill Black people, we don't get outraged, or raged about it. What do you think? What do you think about Black Lives Matter right now, Dellguan? Why aren't they so present and active like they've been on the other cases where white officers have killed Black men?
Well, Candace Owens, she already exposed them, so it's a wrap on that.
Okay, what she say? Because I don't follow her. Huh?
She's a powerful. That was a powerful expose.
Yeah, man, I love Candace Owens.
Very,
she's just black and white. Yeah, she tough, man. And what it is, man, like, hey, you know what I found interesting? Like, we the only two that, like, I gotta look at the video to be able to articulate the feelings and what I see.
Yeah.
The universe always tugs on me, even when I'm sleeping. It's always tugging on me. You know what I'm saying? I had to apologize to my son last night because the universe showed me something. And I was just like, oh, at one moment I was producing fear and putting it in him. And then at some point he didn't want to talk, right? No different from the men on here saying, I don't want to watch it. Not out of fear, probably. I don't know. It's either fear or embarrassment. Either way.
Okay.
But my soldiers got to watch it. It's like a video. I remember I played basketball, right? We used to lose the game, right? I was the only one that wanted to watch the playback. Nobody else wanted to watch the playback.
So you can learn from it, right? So you can learn from it.
Okay, boss. Right. That's my boy. But yeah, right. I was the only one that's the only way, I wanted to watch. I was the only one they thought I was crazy, but I've always been inquisitive. Now, I did. The next day, I sat in sorrow.
Yeah.
I was sad. I was sad the next day. But anytime I'm that sad and I'm breathing, another hero is born instantly. The next, when I heal, I'm like thicker. So that's how I do it. And a lot of times, man, I noticed that we don't like to face reality.
That's a good point right there.
We have to face reality, man. We have to do it.
I agree.
All right. Shots fired. I'll go watch it.
Come on, Mike.
I agree. I'm not afraid of nothing but God. I'm not afraid. Listen, I want you to hear this though, D, because I got mad respect for you. I ain't afraid of nothing but God. Not no man on this earth, not nobody, not no monster, not the stars falling out the sky. Only thing I'm afraid of is God. I did not want to see brothers beating on another brother. I don't need to see that to understand that. I don't need that. I feel sorry for those 5 cops too. We lost 6 brothers that day. That's what we lost. We lost 5 brothers with wives, with kids, with girlfriends, with mothers and fathers that raised them up to be decent people. We lost people that day. We lost 6 people that day. For what though? For nothing.
I got a question.
For somebody teaching them teaching them to be negative, and then in their mind thinking that it's okay to do what they done seen many white folks do. That's not right.
I got a
I
question.
don't need to see that.
Do y'all listen to rap music?
I don't
mean,
do
it just
hardcore rap.
depends.
No.
It just depends. I listen to all music. So let me tell you about the music thing. It's a difference.
I want to because Civil War is Civil War. Like rape, like pornography, like a molester on paper or off the paper is a molester. You know what I'm saying? So Civil War is Civil War. I'm not saying it made me feel. After I watched it, I teared up. And you know I got thick skin, but I'm human.
Yeah, it touches your emotions, I tell you.
Oh man, I mean, it's worse than Rodney King, but because it's Civil War, and I kept saying, God damn, it feel personal. I ain't throwing no. I'm not. I'm a general. I have to speak the way I see it. I can't help it. I didn't make myself. This is who I am. My mama coined it. I was born on all sevens. I'm the only Dellguan. I can't help it. I'm gonna speak it. This is the God talking through me. So if you're a God, or if you fear God and you from the image of God, then therefore, you know what I'm saying, it shouldn't be a problem when you hear God speak. So I'm just speaking the truth. I have to do it. Like when y'all don't want to do it, at the end of the day, I gotta do it. Like, I stood toe to toe with the reporters. Like people were telling me to be careful. I don't know. I don't know what I fear. I'm very cautious, but I don't teach fear, period. Especially with kids.
And that's cool.
For me,
we should be. But just like this young brother, not too long ago, a sister got shot in the eye with her 2 kids in the car. She died in the car. 2 black dudes shot the woman in the car, and she died in her son's arms. And I was mad about that, and I didn't see it.
Yeah.
The police wasn't looking for them. Them boys still free right now running.
Are they?
Yeah. So not just that is bad, this bad too. What about that girl? Right. Where's her restoration? Why ain't nobody at her funeral? Right. Why nobody there? Black Lives Matter marching for them. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, Mike, what you said.
Come on, one at a time.
Go ahead, brother.
Right.
Mike, you on fire tonight, baby.
So we mentioned a couple of things, and Dellguan started with self-hate, but I want to go ahead and put on record the value of a black person, period.
The value.
The
value. Is there a value?
Right, because Black Lives Matter, for instance, they're going after them when the situation is right, is white. Yeah. And like Dellguan said, the Candace Owens addressed it. Just go Google her, and she did a great job on that. But here's the big thing. When are we going to stand there? And when are we going to make sure that the situation has value? And what is the value in this situation? First of all, there's a life that's lost, right? Yep. When any Black life is lost, we should have value. And I think that's what Mike is saying. I think that's the situation that he's trying to say, hey, nobody's talking about the young lady who got shot right in the middle of her eye in front of her 2 kids.
Her 2 kids, yes.
And so for me, I too am a general. And I take responsibility, but I've been in the fight for so long. I already know when certain words are used, I already knew it was personal without watching the video. Because I've never seen in my life brothers who had authorities and it was more than 2 people atroce another brother. That doesn't mean that it never will happen, but I just knew. And so I didn't have to see it to know. But the other thing is sometimes you don't take those things in your soul because right now I'm already a fighter. Listen, it's been times, and I'm just going to be transparent. If I had my weapons on me and the cops who atroced me like they did, and going into the next set of situations, I might have shot. I'm just being honest.
You might have shot.
I might have put 2 in. And so the question is, knowing that, I don't want to walk around with that anger because it took me a long time to come back. Because it's one thing to be a general in administration, and another thing to be a general who's out on the streets fighting. Because you gotta be able to separate whether you're in wartime. And I think this is the important point Dellguan is bringing up. Do we have the right to be an administrative general right now? As African Americans, are we still at war?
Yes, we are.
And the answer to that is yes, we are. We are at war.
So many wars right now. Go ahead.
I'll say this. As far as what I think these brothers should get, I'm a firm believer in eye for eye, tooth for tooth, soul for soul.
Okay.
You know, and so at the end of the day, you can't come in my yard and kill my dog and then expect me not to come in your yard and kill your dog at some point. It's only fair. And I mean, if we're all under God, we all are made in God's image. We all are gods. We got to operate as such. And God said, this is what it is, you know. Now, he also said the judgment is his or vengeance is his. But at the end of the day, we know that he is a justice. He's the God of justice. And so it's just. You like I say, you kill somebody. Hey, you know, it is what it is. I don't want to see no brother die. Like Mike said, we lost 6 brothers. I don't want to see
families will never be the same. 6, it's really more than 6 when you the other officers, because they're trying to do something to the paramedics and everybody who was on site that day. So it's nobody wins in this situation, in my opinion, because even though those officers are out right now on bail, I think most of them are. I'm sure they're getting death threats. Their freedom to walk around and their pictures are everywhere. They should be very conscious of being killed by somebody on the street. You know what I'm saying? Because their freedom has been gone taken forever. True. If they do get off and they don't have to do any prison time, they're gonna have to leave the city of Memphis. Don't you think so? Don't you think so, Quinten?
You know,
the walk around Memphis is them right now. I would be afraid for my life if I were them.
You know, I don't know the culture of Memphis, you know, like that, because I don't really, you know, run the streets. But what I will say in Chicago, if that happened, you can't stay.
You're gonna stay in Chicago.
Nah, you can't stay there. You got to move around, you know. And here's the thing: your family ain't safe. Your families ain't safe. Anybody who's related to you or around
the children got to go to school and know that their dad done this to them, and the ridicule and the judgment and the hatred. It goes to show if we can learn some lessons. There's so many lessons to be learned. And I believe that you can learn from the most tragic of situations, like you can learn from, you know, sitting in a classroom or reading a book. The life lessons from this, there's so many for us as citizens, what to do and how to interact with the police or how not to interact with them. And then the lessons for the other policemen to understand you can't treat citizens like this. Black, white, Asian, brown, whatever. So there's so many lessons to learn about your one choice to do something crazy, wrong, or however. Look how it blew up like a bomb.
Yeah.
They didn't think this through.
I also wanted to speak to Dellguan's point about being a general. I think there are different types of generals to different types of soldiers, you know, and you got to know which one you are. You know, are you a foot soldier? You know, or are you the one that's manning the station? Yeah. You know, you the lookout guy. You know, like you got to understand your role and play that part. But we all play a position in making sure that our community is safe and that these boys feel protected. We touched on that last week. You know, these young men, we got to make sure that they feel protected out here, because these black men are running scared. That's why a lot of them are shooting each other, because they're scared. Well, I got to shoot him before he shoot me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, can I say something, Bill, after you?
Yeah, go ahead, brother. I'm done.
You know, another reason why they did it, black people don't tell. You see what I'm saying? Again, if I say it one more time. Black people don't tell. We don't tell. We call it snitching.
Snitching, you know that's the word.
Right. My uncle was talking. Yeah, my uncle was talking to me today. He was like, man, that shit was fucked up, nephew. I've called this shit. He always called me anyway. And another thing, right? when my uncle called me, because he rarely calls me, but when he calls me, I have to stop. By law, I have to listen to whatever you have to say. He said, "No, I want to talk to you." Blah 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 blah. He said, "If that had happened to you," he said, "How you feel about it?" I told him how I felt. He said, "If that had happened to you, we would have been hunting them down right now. Fuck the money, fuck the payout. The money, it won't." See, that's the difference. I'm from a line of Bovans. That's just law. You know what I'm saying? But see, they knew again. If I painted Tyrese Nichols white, you know what I'm saying? Their culture would have got them. Wouldn't have been no in jail, out of jail. They wouldn't want to come out of jail.
So you're saying that if it was 5 black officers that had killed Tyre and he was a white,
let them answer. Yeah, what would have happened? Y'all answer. I know.
Oh yeah.
Huh?
Look, hanging from.
Wait. What do you mean? How y'all know what's gonna happen? It never happened though. How y'all already know though? How is it? Y'all psychic now?
I want to even go a step further and say, with the the Floyd issue, the officers were arm in arm around the guy's house who did the atrocity to Floyd. And I'm saying, if it were a white boy, would the other officers be arm in arm around his house? And I'm saying, no. And this is why even black cops better get their heads in the right space. So what, you got training from these white boys? So what, you think that you have immunity like the white boys do? You don't. And I think, and here's the bad part on top of what Dellguan is saying, is that I think that they may throw the book at them in other ways, meaning that although it may not be, murder 1 and 2, you can still get manslaughter. There's other things. There's at least 7 issues that they could be addressing and have them in life for the rest of their lives, in prison for the rest of their lives. But I don't see
waiting. Why are we waiting on somebody? You see what I'm saying? It's the difference. Like, they know they make the law, and then they'll make a law if need be. If it had there been a white boy, they don't care about, it's no different from when they went to the White House. It was that Capitol place, the Capitol, when Trump lost.
Mm-hmm. When they attacked on the White House.
They didn't care if they got killed or not. They didn't care.
And they knew the law was on their side.
No, you dealing with real kill Billies. They
don't care. But the difference between that situation is, they knew they wasn't gonna shoot them white folks. Them white folks knew that the White House wasn't gonna do shit.
No.
They knew they wasn't gonna. Them white folks knew they could storm the Capitol and wasn't nobody gonna do shit. But you can guarantee, if the Million Man March would have stormed, we would have got our ass shot up right then and there. And it would have been all-out war. It's over and over again in history. Them white folks know that they ain't gonna do nothing. They know they ain't nothing gonna happen to them. I done seen cops wrestle with white guys, tasing them and still wrestling them and holding them down. And then I just seen a white guy shoot a brother in the back, and he was running slow. So it's a difference, bro.
The mentality is see, that's a trained mentality. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
You see how I talk, and you see how he talk. You know what I'm saying? Like me and my family, we came. If it was me, my family came to die. Somebody gotta go. See, it ain't no negotiating. I make the rules when it comes to my
Dellguan, you're saying, Dellguan, you're a vigilante.
No. I'm back at action. I'm tooth for a tooth. See, that's how you learn. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I can't. Right, the difference.
So you don't think I feel the same way?
No, you keep making excuses for them. No, wait.
No, I don't make no excuses. It is what it is.
No.
It is what it is. To me, when it comes to them folks, it is what it is. To us, I would. But for us, I wish that we all can bond together and fight, like you saying. I wish. So Anford asked me today, Mike, what if it was your son who got killed? What would you do?
And that was gonna be my question to everybody.
See, Dellguan, I don't need no family with me.
No,
I'm fucking Rambo by myself.
Wait.
Me?
I want you to answer that question. If that was your brother,
listen to me. See, because we still gotta be politically correct on here because they'll shut it down. So hear me when I say this.
Okay,
I don't need no family with me. Do if it was my son. Cause see, I'm Rambo.
Well,
by my motherfucking self.
That was my brother. Why we ain't Rambo for Ty Nichols? That's my brother. That was my brother.
Who else out there Ramboing for? Who else out there doing it? Because see, this is the thing that gives me. We'll tell people, hey, y'all quit filming and go help. And ain't now Negro step to the police yet. But we got all kind of people on the mics that's tough. We got all kind of people that's standing behind the scene that's saying we need to go. No, go do it. I want to see us really do that. If we really about that life, somebody, why has it not been shown yet? Somebody going to the police and saying, let's go about that life then. We don't see that. But like Mike said, and to be real with you, we still got families we got to take care of.
That's right.
We still got families we got to take care of. So to be honest with you, if it was my son, I'm like Mike and you, Dellguan. I'm not finna sit at home and somebody to beat my son like that. I'm not gonna do it. I hate to say it like this. If it's not my son, if it's not directly related to me, I still got to think about my wife. I can't run out the house every time a black man gets killed. I can't do it.
Let me answer that.
Now, Dellguan, you come on. It's one at a time, y'all.
I got you. Let me answer that. No different from this just happened on my live. You can go down my timeline if it's still up. When the little brother that got killed on my street that was sleeping in the car, I was in front of the news with the police right there by myself. I see, this ain't, you're looking at Shaka Zulu in the flesh. You're looking at Malcolm Harriet Tubman in the real flesh. You can go down my timeline, but not just that, because I don't preach rah-rah. I create curriculums every Sunday in the 901 Union after you're there. I'm not a person. It's a balance, but it's all war. I'm playing chess. It's all war. But when things happen, it's always a 2 for 2 for me in everything. Not just in like in Civil War, because I think it's so distasteful that Black people practice Civil War, especially in the millennial. I just think it's crazy. But when do we start practicing Civil War on our own? Like I can't say, well, man, if that happened to Kingston or College, then I'm ready to go to war. Nah, I say, man, if it happened to Amphra, if it, whoever. But my thing is this: like, I don't want you to back me on war, man. I want you to back me in product. I want you to support me in movie.
Let me ask you this, Dellguan.
The free shit.
Let me ask you this, Dellguan. I'm asking. Yeah. I'll do this. I asked Mike earlier. He just answered it. If this happened to your son, right? He was pulled over for a traffic stop and accosted by the police and pulled out of the car.
All right.
If this happened to your son, Dellguan, what would be your action and reaction?
We already got their names. I wouldn't even want the tape to come out. Period.
You wouldn't want the video to be shown?
No way. It's personal. We got to get it. It's lunchtime, baby. See what I'm saying? This ain't no photo op for me. Like, yep. I've been me before the internet. Y'all just meeting me on the net. Y'all new to me. This been me before the internet. You know what I'm saying? So
what would you have done if this was your son? What would have been your actions, Dellguan?
What do you mean? It's lunchtime, baby. We need that. It's an eye for an eye, baby.
That's what it is. Because we don't want to get shut down.
Here we go.
I'm letting you know it's an eye for an eye. No tape is coming out. If I know it's public record, I do everything in my power. But by the time the tape came out, man, it'd be a whole nother different agenda. Man, we already took care of that.
I agree. As a sniper in the Marine Corps, 4th LAR Light Reconnaissance Unit, the person would have never got home that night.
Or out.
Yeah.
I'm saying the officer who did that would have never made it home that night.
No.
Right. And let me say this too before I forget.
Not with my son, he wouldn't have.
Right. Let me say this about the lady again. the lady that got killed or shot in the eye or whatever.
Yeah.
I keep saying this. Somebody know, right? If my brother commit a crime or my sister or whatever, I know. If nobody knows, me and my mama know. We know, right? The problem is me and my mama ain't saying shit. That's the problem. Niggas don't talk. Nigga be like,
man,
look, shut down my Facebook, y'all.
I'm gonna say something
Quinten.
to that.
Come on.
You know, growing up in the city of Chicago, you know, people know about how we get down out there. It's extremely dangerous. They don't call it Chirac for nothing. What I can say is I've never had a problem in Chicago, and it wasn't some cars or some niggas that came outside. Never. And that's just the code we ran by. You can't touch me and then expect 5, 6, 10, 15 niggas to come running, because we protected each other, and that's just how it goes. And so I'm with all of that. You touch mine, we got to touch yours, and that's just where it's at. I don't care about who, what, where, when, why. Like, you know, Brother Robert said, you're not gonna make it home that night. My uncle is an M16 specialist from Vietnam. You ain't gonna make, and not to mention he ran with Larry Hoover, who's over Chicago. You're not gonna make it home, trust me. So I say all that to say I am the most peaceable man until you make it a different story.
You take your peace from you when you have your peace stripped from you.
Oh yeah, I'm with all the goofiness. Yeah.
So Clinton, if it was your son,
I got to be honest.
Be honest.
What Dellguan said, what Quinten said, what Mike said, I don't know the other brother's name. I'm with him. I'm the same way. We gotta have you, bro. Like you done took something. You didn't just take my radio. I done had that snatched before. You didn't just take my Jordans. That's not. But my son,
yeah,
the one I done held. Cause see, I watched all my children come out, so it's personal. It's very personal with me. I ain't one of these brothers. Even when I got put on child support, I welcome it. Hey, they my children. I help you out. Hey, they mine. You know. So I'm real close to my children to this day. I'm close to them, Afro. I got 3 grown children. I have 4 grandchildren, and I got my little man. And I just couldn't. I don't even want to think about nobody taking my son. So yeah, like them brothers said, man, y'all don't even know if he would have made it home that day. He wouldn't have made it home, Afro. Just to be real with you. But to answer your other question, should they be? Do I think that they should be punished for what they did? I do, absolutely.
Yeah.
You done took these people's, and Quinten, y'all, I did not know that TYRE had a son.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
So now this boy got to grow up without a parent. As hard as I am for our people to be together like Mike, I wished we would get together. Yeah, I believe they should get punished, Amber. I mean, and I hate it for these brothers. At least 3 out of 5 of us have been wronged by the law. Quinten said he's been physically abused by them people. Mike said I hate it for y'all, man. I hate it. And I hate the fact that when we get some type of authority, Amber, that we abuse it like that. And my thought, I'm gonna say this before I stop. I really believe they actually thought they was gonna get away with that.
I do too. I do too.
That's why they did it though. You see, because they know we don't talk. You see what I'm saying? Yep. Nobody felt guilty beating him up. Look, it's 5 of them, right? Yeah. Now, if I'm one of the 5, right, and we see this dude in handcuffs, I'm 240, everybody 2 something, 230, whatever, he 150 in cuffs. And I'm gonna be like, man, that you should have a fucked up feeling on the inside. Morally, you should feel something. They felt nothing, and they felt like they could get away with it because we don't talk. That's my vice versa. Well, let me say this, after vice versa. Just like we'll be like, man, I'm ready to, I kill over my brother, I kill on myself. But will you tell on your brother? If that was your brother and you knew that he stole out of Amber purse or did that, and you the only one that knew, would you tell? Would you volunteer and be like, yo, I gotta see, we don't do that. We not
that snitching thing is part of our community. Snitches get stitches, and snitch, you don't tell on it. No. I'm telling.
So it's 2 things I want to say. The first is I did research in Southeast DC, right? And it was surrounding people who sold drugs in their community. And when asked why the individuals who were selling drugs, the community didn't tell. well, most of the time, the people, they were their aunts, their uncles, their family members, the people invested back into the community. And for them, they were saying, I'm not telling because the person is doing the most for our community. And the people who chose to do the drugs, they did the drugs. Here's the other thing, and that person was to them in a position of power. And here's the other position of power. I asked a question to some of my colleagues the other day. If you were a plantation owner and you had free ass running around just like they did, would you take advantage of that?
Have free what?
If you had free booty running around like plantation owners did, and you were a plantation owner, would you take advantage of that opportunity? And 17 out of 20 of the people who I asked said yes.
Yeah.
And I want to mention something
and they said it was more so because they had to deal with who they were in themselves, but they had to deal who they were with themselves in the position of power. And I think it's more than just not telling on each other. I think it's when you're in a position of power, you have to be careful about who you really are. One of the things Kwame Kilpatrick said was, you've got to be careful that the position don't take you to a place where your character cannot keep you.
Yeah.
And I agree. We first have to have a character that is above reproach first, and then go to a position of power. And here's the issue. A lot of times with the men in blue and people in power, their character wasn't where it needed to be initially.
First place, that's right.
Then they got to that place, and then they just actually showed who they were because they had a position of power to show it.
Power is a dangerous tool. Power without character, power without humility, power without empathy and compassion makes you like a what's his name over in Berlin, over in Germany, Hitler. All power not good, you guys. Power has to come with some humility because people abuse their power, and that's really what happened. They abuse their power to protect and serve, you guys, and that happens a lot. Like you said.
Here's the thing. Because you are in a position of power, I think you should have the fact that you have immunity, like police officers do, and they have the position of power. To me, they should be held to a higher standard than that, because it's like you can now hide behind the fact that you're in blue. And this is the ongoing issue that has been, I agree with Candace Owens on a lot of things, but I still think we still need to look at the police officers and hold them more responsible because, first of all, they're there to serve us. Secondly, they have a moral responsibility to the public. And I think that if we give them immunity, and I think they're you hear this sovereign citizen talk. To me, police officers are sovereign citizens because they're never held responsible for taking power and misutilizing it.
Yeah.
They need to, and I told Anford this earlier, my favorite police officer is Andy Griffin. Because no matter what Andy do, he never buy into the bullshit that Barney be trying to do. So we got a lot of cops out here that's Barney Fife, and they really don't need to be in their position. But Andy always made clarity of doing the right thing.
That's a good analogy.
When it comes to, and I had to tell my son, and sometimes I look at my son now, I was hard on that boy. And I know I was, and I feel bad for it. But he is a productive young man. Yeah. I've told him that if you're not productive, then treat me like I'm a deadbeat daddy. I don't want you around because I gave you every opportunity to be great. Yeah. So my son, he went to aircraft maintenance school, became an aircraft mechanic, and then went to the Navy, all on his own. Now, mind you, his mom never wanted him to make different moves. She didn't want him to go to aircraft maintenance school. She wanted him to go to college. I told him that your mom gonna always want you to be under her, no matter what, but you gotta make your own decision as a man. And that's your mama. She loves you. No matter where you go, she gonna come. So he went to Tulsa and she came. Then he called and said, Dad, I'm thinking about going to the Navy. And I'm like, hey, I don't think it's a bad idea, but that's your decision. His mama called me. I think you should talk him out of it. I won't do such a thing. That's his choice. I told him, your mama always gonna want you under her, but you gotta make a decision. If you go, she'll come. He wasn't in the Navy. I mean, as soon as he graduated, boom, she was right there.
Yeah.
Holding his hand, happy for him and proud. He been in there 4 years. 4 years. But before he went, we had a conversation, and he yelled at me one time. He played baseball, and he said, Dad, how did I do? And I told him everything that he did wrong in the game, and he had a good game. And he said, Dad, every time I think I take 2 steps forward, you take me 4 steps back. Why? And I never answered. I never said anything until he got ready to get off the phone on boot camp at the Navy. And I said, hey, before you get off the phone, I know I ain't gonna talk to you for a while, so I'm gonna put this bug in your ear. You remember that time you screamed at me? He said, yeah, about the baseball game. You ain't never say nothing. I said, but I'm gonna say something now. You already been raised. You the man that I made you. Now, granted, you about to go in there and they gonna tear you down to nothing and build you back up to what they want you to be. But you don't have to be built up because I already built you to who you are. All you gotta remember is why you going and what you need to get from them. He been in there 4 years. He done ranked 6 times. And I asked him, well, how long you gonna stay? He said, Dad, they gotta put me out of here because I know where I'm going.
All right now.
And that's the thing with our kids, or even the kids that ain't kin to us, that we gotta teach them that you can be great no matter what your situation is, no matter who you born to. We have a duty as men to be men to our kids and kids that's not ours.
Come on, Mike.
That's our job. That's why we here. And I believe that. And in the end, when I'm done with this acting and I'm done with working, that's why I gotta put it back to, as well as now, trying to help as many kids as I can help. Because you don't have to be, kids don't ask to be here.
Yeah.
And that's why they short, because we ain't doing our job. It ain't got nothing to do with no lady.
But you're talking about the men need to step up and be men. Men need to be men, Mike, is what you're saying.
Man, that's all it is. We got to be men at all times. And we lacking.
Yes,
it's like our brothers is losing a race and we passing them when we should go back and pick them up and drag them on.
Come on now. All right.
I agree.
Amen. Amen. Chad Rose says everyone cannot handle the power that they have. That's true. Nor do they deserve that power. That is true, Chad. Some people even join the Air Force. I mean, join the not the Air Force, the police for the wrong reasons, you guys. And go ahead.
I was just gonna say this. I think power isn't within itself. The concept of power isn't a good or bad thing. I think it comes into the person that withholds that power, if they're a good or bad person.
Yes. Yes.
You know, power can always be used to do things that normal people can't do. You know, they can make moves, and you know, whether it's money or whether it's influence or whatever it is, you have that power, or you command that attention, or you can lead people to a place. It's what type of leader are you when you have that, you know? And we just kind of see that, unfortunately, the people who are leading us, you know, like it was touched on, are the rappers. You know, these are the unfortunately these are the people that are leading the culture. You know, and I mean that kind of goes hand in hand with police brutality, because it's kind of like, for people who know the history on hip hop, there was a secret meeting that was, you know, had in the, you know, late 80s, and it was basically to just usher all these young men down this pipeline of getting locked up. That's why you always hear rappers getting locked up and killed. They say being a rapper is the toughest job in America. Why?
Yeah, why? It's the content of what they're putting out, you know?
Man.
But as far as power is concerned, I am a powerful person. I have to be careful with my power, with my words. Your words are your power. We all have that. Your choices are your power. And when you abuse any form of power, then you have the ego makes you abuse the power that you have. Parents have power over their children. So when they abuse, that ego, whatever that ego tells them to do or not do, it is the ego that tears the character down in any person, you guys. That ego of self-hate, the ego of self-detriment, the ego of self-insecurity, all of that, you guys. So power is not always good unless the lights go out, the power go out in the house or something like that. When you are in a position of power, we all are in positions of power as parents, as responsible citizens. When you abuse your power in any way, nothing good ever comes out of the abuse of power. Nothing.
But Alpha, I'm sitting here looking at these men.
Okay.
And I'm getting this picture. Can you picture? This is a rhetorical question. Can you imagine if what Mike said, if we came together as Black men? And like, if you, Quinten, now I've been to Chicago, but I've never stayed in Chicago. So Quinten has seen it.
Yeah.
So Quinten can attest to this.
Too, right?
Yeah, I live in Chicago too.
Okay. So you've got neighborhoods like Chicago and LA, and Quinten can answer this now. Some of these neighborhoods, the police would not even dare to go into trying to do some stuff like that. Because it's people like Dellguan, my other brother, Mike. Hey, we know we go in here clowning, man, we might not make it out. And I can just imagine, I'm not talking violence. I'm just saying, what if we were so together, like a Black Wall Street, but I mean, just outside of finances, along with finances.
Yes.
We just didn't play like, hold up, man. Hold up. No, you ain't coming in here with that, Jack. Who are you?
Yes.
What you here for? Before you even pull this man over, you need to answer to us first.
Yes.
What you pulling him over for? I'm just, Quinten, Mike, I don't know. I'm just, if you had somebody like Dellguan and I'll be like, nah. Before we even take it to court, we taking it to court right here at this stop sign. You're gonna have to answer to the judge, us. I just want to see a day like that where we just really band together. And like Dellguan said, okay, you did it, bro. You got to take your charge. Forget that not snitching stuff.
Okay, right now on Yams 3C, there are 5 powerful Black men. One is in Detroit, the rest of you guys are here in Memphis. What would it take for the Black men in the communities that we're from, and Robert, you're in Detroit, to start some type of a movement of Black men coming together as a culture to take back the Black family, to save our young Black boys, our young Black girls? You guys have the power to do that, you know, because I'm one of those people that believes, don't keep waiting for somebody to save you, or why don't somebody do something? You do something where you are. That's how I live. You know, when I see something out of order, I speak up. Hey, I see some children acting crazy. Hey, you know what I'm saying? And that's, to me, what the village is missing when the elders used to teach and protect the younger generations. Now we're afraid to say something to these young boys. We're afraid to call the young girls out on this or that. Nobody wants to teach you guys, because it comes down to the lessons of life that our kids are missing while we find ourselves in these situations. You guys got the power. Why can't you guys come together in some way? What keeps Black men from coming together?
Well,
come on, Quinten.
I didn't mean to.
No, you didn't cut me out. Come on back.
So coming from Chicago, I remember back in the day, it did used to be like that. You know, the Black souls, even the Gangster Disciples, they used to protect the neighborhoods, and the Black guys, the Panthers, yes, yep. They would protect the neighborhoods. And these are the people that my dad and the uncles used to run with. And it wasn't about killing each other. It was about, hey, the police pull up. Whoa. What y'all doing? Yeah. We got it. We'll take care of it. We got it. Yeah. You know, y'all can go on about y'all business. We got it. You know, that's so-and-so. Yeah, I know where they stay at. I go get it, because they had a relationship with the police. And the police, and they understood that, okay, if this is y'all neighborhood and y'all got it, y'all need to take care of this. If we got to come through here, it's going to be a different story. But nowadays, they done locked up all the smart gangsters, the people who are actually into growth and development. It shouldn't be gangster disciple. GD stood for growth and development.
Wow.
They changed the name. Hoover termed it as growth and development. They changed the name to gangster disciple. Okay, once Hoover got locked up, once a lot of the old heads got locked up, the Willie Lords who started the Vice Lords, the Jeff Fords, when those guys got locked up, it's in the hands of guys that are younger than me now.
Wow.
These guys that don't have any direction, and mainly because the crack era in the 80s took the man out of the home. So you had mama raising the boys, and now the boys got lost into the streets. It's a whole cycle.
It's
and
a
that's
cycle.
why we
A
can't come
vicious
together, because
Okay.
we got babies running the streets. You look in
So-
Memphis, it's babies running the streets. But go ahead, Mike.
No, you're right. In Chicago, Fred Hampton, the leader of the Black Panthers in Chicago, was murdered by the police at the age of 21.
Yeah.
And the reason why they murdered him is because he brought all the gang members, all of the, I guess you want to say the racist white folks, the Hispanics, he brought them all together to bond together and go against the police. That's what he did. He was
100%.
21. He spent like 5 or 6 years in prison, and I don't even think he was 15. And he died when he was 21.
Wow.
So
That's
what
powerful.
Here's my answer to what your question is, Anfra. And I agree with the other two gentlemen who just spoke, but we never really talk about the psychological effeminization of Black men.
Come on now. Psychological infeminization of Black men. Come on, speak, brother.
The reason that I'm saying it is because when we talk about name a Black leader, and then I can tell you if he was effective, he was killed. Right? And so that's a psychological effeminization to the other. In the slavery terms, they called it buck breaking. But in today's society, we call it the psychological effeminization of Black men. So that if you get to a position of power and you have character that can lead your community forward, you're going to get killed. And so now the question is, I'm going to defer to Dellguan because I think his response is something important. Go ahead.
Notice when we talk about our Black leaders, then we keep talking about American Black. Every time and I'm not disagreeing, but again, it's all self-hate and fear. I always say Black people have been taught fear and hate, right? Nobody ever brings up Hannibal Barker.
Hannibal who?
Thank you. My point exactly. You ever seen the movie?
I don't know who that is.
You seen the movie 300? You seen the movie 300?
Right.
Yeah,
it's about him.
The men have. That's Hannibal Barker.
Right.
They just made him a white man. Right. He wasn't assassinated. Hannibal Barker almost took over Rome with a small group. That has never been. The art of war comes from Hannibal Barker.
Yes.
He was a Black man. Yes.
Not Kenichi. That's correct.
My mentality totally different. I love Malcolm. I love Marcus Garvey. But my heroes are my stepdad, Shaka Zulu, Hannibal Barker. You know what I'm saying? So you can see my spirit right now. That's why I be like, yo, I'm a real general, B. Like it's
so you're living for real.
And I'm saying this. The narrative that we talk, right? I had to tell my son when he was introduced about Martin Luther King, it's about he was a great leader and quote unquote assassinated. So more so like every time people be like, one day, oh, that was Mike Love coming like, yo, G, you know, man, I see what you're doing, and the higher you go, they're gonna kill you. I'm like, hell no, I'm a businessman. Everybody likes me in business. Everybody do. We don't understand business. I'm from that world. I've never had a problem with no cops. You know why? Because I got cops on I got family on the force. So I ain't gonna have no problem. Because they know it's gonna be the mayor of West Memphis is my best friend. Before he was the mayor. I'm playing chess. I'm not playing checkers.
But what I do like about what you're doing, Dellguan.
So, hold on, let me finish my thought. I deferred to him. I deferred to him. And I deferred for that reason, because I thought that was going to be your response. And I do agree it was not Nietzsche who did The Art of War. But the reason that I brought up the effeminization of Black male leadership is because when we see Black men in power, and I want to kind of come a caveatical across what you just said. When we talk about Africa, when we talk about South America, when we talk about India, when we talk about Asia, people of color, we see that the colonizers are going after their leadership. When we talk about somebody as Gaddafi, for instance, who should be alive, who could have revolutionized money in Africa. He got killed by Hillary Clinton. She put a target on his back. But that's not, I agree with what you're saying. And this is what I want to make sure that we know, that at some point, if a leader steps up, we have to be willing to die with that leader. So much so that we back him in front of everybody else, not behind the scenes. Because what we do now with leaders who are leaders, when we at the lunch table, when we behind the team, when we watching football, we say, yeah, that's my nigga. But when we out front, there's nothing. And so I'm saying, when the right person stands up, we as Black men have to be willing to stand behind those individuals to let other people know that nothing's going to happen to him. That's the first thing. The second thing is, the whole reason that you intrinsically become a leader is because you lead your region or your neighborhood.
Or your family, for that matter.
Or your family, for that matter. If any of those three things are atrocious on your watch, people are going to say, well, he can't even keep up with blah, blah, blah. And so I'm saying to you, what you usually see is, because I keep up with my family, because I keep up with local, because I keep up with region, and it's not happening in my area, then people can say I'm a leader. Now, here's the bigger thing. Where is that happening?
I don't know.
Where can you go and say it? And so I say it begins with us. So I'll volunteer and say, I'm the person that the community can come to. I've a trust camps. I run a camp every summer where I spend over 10 grand to make sure that children are making sure that they learn how to run a business and how to make sure that they know how to interact professionally. I can say that I've invested in church communities to make sure that children know wilderness training. Yeah. I can also say that when people in DC and Detroit and in Maryland call me, that I'm the first person who gets in the car to go make sure that they're helped. I'm doing 3 people like that right now in the state of Maryland.
Robert does a lot of that, you guys.
But the bigger picture is this: nobody knows about me. If somebody says about Dellguan outside of his community, nobody knows about him. And so here's the bigger issue. The bigger issue is that people like us need to begin to communicate. We don't do that.
Yeah.
We don't communicate. I take responsibility for not connecting with Dellguan and Mike and the rest of the guys. And I want to say this: the connection has to happen immediately, because we need to be able to say something happened in Detroit, something happened in Chicago, something happened in Memphis, something happened in LA, Houston, Chicago. And we need to be able to trust. What did I like about Kyrie Irving's situation? Kyrie Irving is not a Hebrew Israelite. But I can tell you, I felt very proud when I saw purple and gold walking around the Barclays Center. I could not wait. In my spirit, I knew it was going to happen. And I was glad that they were barking orders and marching around. Now, here's the question. The biggest question is, they should have been on the court side, like the people who wore the anti-Semitism, and they should have been on court side wearing their Hebrew Israelite stuff, saying, we love you, Kyrie. They should have took it to another level. But I just want to say this: we must start today. And I'm all in.
Because you guys right here on this show, Yams 3C, Dellguan, you got the 901 union. So you're doing your part to bring people together to learn financial literacy, group economics. You know, I love the platform that you got going on here. Because Dellguan is, I will give you one thing. That's why I'm honoring you this month too, Dellguan, because you really are a general. You really are, huh?
I was saying congratulations.
Oh yeah, you really are trying to pull the 901 into a union of Black people, group economics, and because education is the foundation to all of our ills in society. And I'm not talking about the textbook education. I'm talking about the life facts, the facts of life. Robert, you're doing that in your life. And Mike, when you and I talk about some of the plans that you have for doing for young men, what you want to do in the future. We all have the power sitting right here. We got to stop waiting to be saved for someone to save us, and we have the power to save ourselves and our own families. And we can start right here. You guys have so much power as Black men to start talking to each other, sharing ideas, helping each other. You guys, we can get out of this situation that we're in. We can't wait 400 more years for it to happen when we're not here. It's going to keep getting worse and worse and worse if us don't take back us. And we got the power to do that.
Hey, can I say something?
Come on, Dellguan.
Like the reason Black men don't work together, even the ones that have influence, it still be like self-hate. Like it's underlying self-hate. We can't see it. Like, I don't know. Like, it's because I don't carry it. I can't like coin it. But the only thing I can say is it'd be like self-hate, because everybody on this platform met me through helping somebody besides my guy in Detroit. Everybody on this platform met, either I helped somebody or I was helping them. Everybody that is through my journey, everybody's new. From Deborah to whoever. The only person that's not new is Neil. He's the only person that's the original, like before Instagram, Facebook. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying through my journey.
Yeah.
Like I'm no different. Like KB Neil be saying, you no different from Jesus Christ, bro. You ain't. He said no different from Jesus. You in the street trying to help. You always. You know what I'm saying? And I don't care. I don't care about whether it's Jesus or Zeus. Or whatever.
Come on, brother.
I'm saying we have to build a platform, a hub where we meet culturally, annually. Because listen, we still don't do events for little Black boys that's cool.
Yeah.
Any 17-year-old, 18, whatever, say, do you feel like Black men care about you? Ask any 16, 17
the answer is no. I can tell you that now. No.
Right. Ask them. Like, do you feel like they care? Do you feel like they care about you? They're gonna be like, no, they don't. You know what I'm saying? They don't even know they daddy. Like, we don't honor. Like, you ask the average white kid or a high school kid, like, what do you want to do when you get out of school? If he don't want to do nothing, he's gonna say, oh man, I just want to have a family, man, but get a wife and my kids. That's what he's gonna say. We like to coin. I don't even use that word no more, baby mom. That's not a real word.
I hate that word.
You know what I'm saying? She's the mother of your child. That's what she is. You're the father of your child. That is it. We got to quit creating and coining dysfunctional behavior and calling it culture. That's why I'm just like, we can't be like, yo, man, I don't wanna see the brother get beat down like that, right? And then turn on Lil Wayne. It's the same thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you can't, ain't no, what my boy say, ain't no such thing as halfway crooks. You're scared to death. Ain't no such thing as halfway crooks. You can't be Detroit Red and Malcolm. You got to pick one, Doc. You can't be Detroit Red and you can't be Malcolm. You got to pick one. You either Detroit
one or
Red
the other.
Or you Malcolm. That is it. So, I love everybody on here. Ain't no pun intended. I'm just speaking life and I'm turning light bulbs on and I'm speaking to your spirit. That's what I'm doing.
I love you too, brother. And I represent with you all the time. I'm down for you. I believe in what you believe in. But I'm just built different. Like you built the way you built, I'm built the way I'm built. Quinten built the way he built. The other brothers built the way they built. And we still can all be different and come together.
Yes.
For me, I don't knock entertainment because to me, it's just entertainment. I teach my kids, don't think you from North Memphis when you've been in Cordova your whole life. You a lie. You don't know nothing about being hungry or the lights off or somebody shooting in your window or you know, your mom, the police at your door. My kids didn't know nothing about that. They grown now, but they didn't know nothing about that.
Yeah.
When they struggled, I could take them to Sylvan Learning Center and get them the help that they need if I didn't know it. you know, because I made the way. But entertainment and what you see on TV, we got to teach that ain't real.
That's not real.
It's just entertainment. Lil Wayne rapping it, but he ain't living it.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? That's false advertisement. That's what that is. That's all rap music is. And if you teach your kids, it's the difference between that stuff now. You got to understand it is not real. They ain't shooting nobody. They lying. That's what they doing. So I don't buy into that. Nah, it's fake. I like Rocky. I like Rocky. I went to be in the Creed 2. I'm thinking I'm going to see a fight. Like I'm hyped up, a grown man.
I remember
my
that.
First movie. I get there. Them niggas didn't even touch each other. They sparred.
But nobody walks up to Al Pacino and thinks he's Scarface.
That's not true. People think that.
Nobody walks up to Al Pacino and thinks he's Scarface.
That's not true. The little boy that played Power Book 2, when he let his little sister get killed, he said grown people was coming up to him saying that he didn't do right about his family.
Yeah.
He said he had to tell the people, you know, that was just a movie. She didn't die.
And so you bring up a good point. Both of you guys bring up a good point on that. You guys.
Good points. Wow.
And so the good point is that is part of the cultural problem in our entire world, truthfully, but especially in the Black community, is the influence of entertainment, whether it be movies, films, video games, or whatever. People have a problem differentiating facts and reality from fictional stories. You know, even back in the day when The Color Purple was done, and what was it, Mr.? People attacked him because they thought he was like that. What's his name? Danny Glover. And so the influence of media, because music and television entertainment is part of media, we do need to teach our children that, you know, how to differentiate fact from fiction.
I got a question.
That's superficial life is what it is. Come on, brother.
I got a question. Why don't we have a Jew Cardi B or a Jew NBA Youngboy then if it's just entertainment? We can't find.
I'll answer that.
Hold on, let me ask the question again. I didn't get the question.
Sorry about that.
What? Come on.
Since music is just entertainment, why don't we have one Jew Cardi B or a Jew NBA Youngboy or a Jew?
I'll answer that. So the first thing that we have to realize is that media, as it relates to the Ashkenazi-controlled media corporations, is sorcery. They're led by something called the Talmud. The Talmud tells them how they're going to move, all the way from lynching Black people and all the way down to how Black people should be looked at and seen in media. So I want to be very clear about that. So that's why. So you're not going to go see a Jewish Cardi B or a white Cardi B or an Indian or an Asian Cardi B. And that's the reason. So, but the question is, when are we going to have a matching media infrastructure that presents people who are really who we are without the negative connotations? So that's my next thing. And I thought that's why there is Yams 3C. That's why there is Coleman and Neil. That's why there is, and I can keep on going. It's just that these things need to grow faster, and we need to give the support to only, because you have to ask, why does not Bill Cosby have his own station by now?
Thank you.
Yeah. Now, and I'll put something else out there too.
Come on, Quinten.
So the Jewish media, if you look at the major power players in the music industry, they're all ran by Jews. The Leo Cohens, Clive Davises, Jimmy Iovine's, those are some of the most powerful people in the music industry. They're the ones that hold all the contracts. They're the ones that owns all the masters. They're the power players. Now, they're all Jewish. And I will say this, Jewish people, they study. They are the true culture vultures. They come into Black culture. They study Black culture. They look at the hoods. They see who is the most prominent person in the hood. It's the guy who's got the shiny clothes, the shiny jewelry, the cars, the girls. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna take these people out the hood. We're gonna build them up, and we're gonna make them seem like they're somebody. We're gonna make them seem like they're tough guys, according, like what Mike was saying. Yeah. This is all fake. They take these people, they buy these people. Literally, they buy these people, and they say, "This is what I want you to do. This is the message that I want you to promote. This is how I want you to come off." That's why when we see Cardi B, she's pumping poison down these girls' throats, is because she signed an oath. She signed a deal that says, I have to promote this. I can't put out what I want to put out, because if she sends positivity to the label, they're gonna send it back. They're gonna send it back.
And I'm gonna give an example of that. Eric Monty, for instance, Good Times, Jeffersons, Fred Sanford, right? When he wrote those roles, he didn't write those roles for those individuals to be buffoons.
Facts.
But Jewish Ashkenazi people stole that from him and made those people look buffoon-like on those shows. So much so that James Evans said he couldn't even he had to leave off the show. He quit. The main character quit because he couldn't take it. And so I'm saying, at some point, we've got to allow Eric Monty to be who he was designed to be and create that media presence that he needs to create.
And we have that power now. We have that power due to social media. You guys, let me read this from Deborah Brandon, who's been on the show before. We're going to have you back on, Deborah. She says, science proves that the frequency of music can directly trigger emotions. That's a fact. Music is not just entertainment. Black people do like to tell themselves that, though. Yes, music within itself makes you emotional from whatever, sad, happy. It plays on every part of your emotions. She also says you can program someone just by playing a song in a frequency. Yes, it is. And in words, and you increase that power. That is scientifically proven. Yes, it is. Music is a powerful medium, you guys. Yes, it is.
So there's something called the thalamus and the hypothalamus. One of them allows you to think logically. The other bypasses your logical ability to respond and teaches you to respond emotionally.
Yeah.
We call it, in music, for instance, we call it a blue note. So what she's saying is true. And so one of the things that they know, and this is why I'm saying that the element of sorcery is there, because they use that element against us daily by pumping this poison through the radio waves to us, and we're responding emotionally and not logically.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. And so media, and I'm a media mogul, but I'm in a positive media mindset. That's why I don't want any deals or anything, because the music industry specifically, that's why the rappers and the gangster rap and all that, they sign contracts that they have to put that content out, you guys, because it does affect our children. It affects us, and anything, we're visual learners. We learn visually. We learn by hearing next. Textbooks is our least way that we learn. We learn visually first and by hearing. And when you hear something over and over again, that's why they say, if you tell a child, when you're talking to your child, don't say you're going to be this, you ain't going to be that, you ain't going to be SHIT, you ain't going to be it. They internalize that. You guys, words are powerful, whether they're in music form or what they're watching on television, you guys, visually, all of that impacts their behavior, our behavior. And so we got to rethink everything we've been taught, truthfully.
So I just want to say I agree. I got to hop off because we're about to do a podcast episode. But speaking of powerful words, Amfred, Robert, Quinten, Dellguan, Mike, I love you guys, man. Seriously. I've enjoyed y'all, man. I hope this ain't the last time, man. Love you guys, man.
I'll send you an invitation next week, okay?
Love you, brother.
Okay.
Thank you. And I'll be on your show next week.
Okay.
Thank you. I love you, Quinten. Quinten. And you guys, it's 10 o'clock. We've been on here since 8:30. It's not, oh my. this has been a great conversation, you guys, a great critical and conscious conversation. For those of you who are just tuning in, we started this conversation out, which branched off into so many different legs. Remembering TYRE Nichols, who was buried yesterday here in Memphis, you guys. We're talking about the reality, the rumors, and the repercussions. The reality is that he's no longer with us. The reality is that these officers, more than 5, they all facing some type of criminal charges. There are rumors about a lot of different things. Why they did it? Was it, because they knew this guy? He was dating one of the officers' ex-wives or mother of their children or something like that. There are so many rumors going along, but now we're in the repercussions of their actions, you guys. We can all take this incident, this tragic incident, black on black crime, and learn from it. That's the key thing. What would you say, Mike, we can learn from this one particular tragedy here in Memphis? What can we learn from it, from your opinion, your perspective?
I just would want young brothers, old brothers to comply as best as they can. If you get snatched out the car like that brother did, maybe you'll respond the same way he did. But if you thinking, just take cover and hope you live. That's all I can say. Okay. That's what I would do. Okay. My end result is to make it home like I left. I want to see everybody to make it home. Ain't no other way.
Yeah. Dellguan, from this incident in Memphis, this tragedy that just happened, what's the one thing that you can learn or we can all learn from it?
Learn the rules. You have to learn the rules. Because he was in the right if he just would have complied. Right. If he never would have got up and tried to run or whatever, he still would have been alive. I think, I'm just saying. But you still got to know the rules. So as far as in like how to play the game. So he was in the right all the way. They never read him his rights. They didn't tell him nothing. They just, just all of it.
So pulled him out the car and started beating him.
Right. And then, it's cameras everywhere. Now that people are going to start thinking about what this, but I don't like examples like this. But again, they only did that because they thought they can get away. It's crazy how they knew they had body cams on them and they still did.
They still was doing this. That's the thing that got me.
That's pretty tough. So I would just say learn the rules, man. And again, comply as much as you can now. Don't let nobody disrespect you because death is worth disrespect to me. You know what I'm saying? So
death is what?
Worth disrespect. Death is worth the disrespect, man. Like, if you get disrespected and if death meets you, I welcome it because, I can't compromise my dignity. You can't buy it back. You can't compromise it here or in jail or whatever. If somebody be like, yo, I like them shoes. If you don't approach that person right then and there, they're going to take your shoes and they're going to take everything else. It's no different. You have to meet, but I'm saying, come in peace, but be prepared for the bully at any given times. But that's a teaching of me. That's my teaching.
Okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, Robert.
Well, I think my alignment having been atrocized, I had to stop carrying my weapons for a while because I think if I would have, so I have a vibratory sense of people who I interact with. And I already know in my mind if I'm going to have a problem with that person or not. And so
their energy.
I feel their energy. And so for me, I think, I've never been to a level where I felt for my life, but I've been a level where I've been disrespected. And I feel like if I go through that level again, if I have my weapon on me, I'm going to shoot that person.
Wow. Because of your previous experience.
Because of my previous experiences. Okay. And so because of that, I stopped carrying for about 3 years. I just stopped carrying because if somebody stepped to me wrong, they might get shot. Wow. And so I'm a little different because I've been atrocized by police. So my issue was, okay, now knowing that somebody is snatching me out the car, it depends on if I have my weapon on me or not.
Yeah.
Because if I have my weapon on me or not, I might try to shoot. Now, if it's 4-1,
respectfully, can we learn from this, Robert? Is what I'm asking.
I'm sharing
okay.
it.
Okay.
And so, respectfully, I would say that I'd have to defer to a cooler mind, and that is have a logical response already ready before I'm in a position. As a Black male, I already know that I have to know how to respond because I have to know that I've personally experienced it and I see it every day in the news. Yeah. And so I have to have a way to negate whatever's coming for me. The first thing that I do is I call 911. I let them know that I'm being stopped for nothing. I don't feel safe. Please stay on the phone and record. Yeah. The reason that I do that is because out of the 3 times that it's happened now, when I had that feeling, it just went away within the next 5 minutes. Oh, sir, you're free to go. Yeah. And so now I'm encouraging young men to call 911 immediately. Yeah. To say, hey,
that's a good thing.
Good. I don't feel safe. Can you please stay on the call? Can you call a supervisor to the scene?
Yeah.
And it doesn't make you a coward either, calling 911.
No, yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. Because now
turn your phone on and record.
Because what happened is the cops have become vigilantes, and they're the judge, the jury, and the police officer when they're supposed to just be the police officer and allow me to have my day in court, but I'm not getting to court. Yeah. And so now I have to side on the air of caution and create a position of court so that jurors can hear what my position is. Hey, I'm calm and clear. Hey, I'm professional. Okay. You know, one of the things that I think his name is Charleston somebody, he says, you never see anybody with a bow tie get shot.
Charleston White.
He said you never see anybody with a bow tie get shot. I believe that. And the reasons being is because there is a level of understanding that person has when they come to the car with you. And I'm saying the same thing to those young men who have been atroced so that they will not get atroced again. Have some level of integrity.
Yeah.
Have a system in place already, and make sure that the vibe that you're giving off is one of a safe vibe.
Yes.
Because you have the ability to control that and give it off. And then calling 911.
Yeah. Lee Wright says, I wish more people understood this. She says, they do not care at all about the body cams. That's so crazy to me. That was so crazy about me. You're being filmed. I think that they're probably going to, their lawyers are going to have them to plead some type of temporarily insanity, in my opinion. That's what I think. Quinten, what do you think? What is a learnable, what can we learn from this tragedy in Memphis?
I'm gonna be a little different here. I think that if America didn't understand self-hate within the Black community, we understand it now by seeing what we saw. And so we can't say that it doesn't exist anymore. All you got to do is turn on your cell phone, turn on the news, and you're gonna see the TYRE story. You cannot deny self-hate anymore. And so I think now we have to ask ourselves as a community, what are we going to do with this issue? Yes. Because it's for
on
us,
display for everybody to see.
For us, it's bigger than those boys in blue. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, how many white cops do you really see shooting Black boys versus Black boys shooting Black boys?
Woo, come on, speak, brother.
So
say that one more time.
How many white cops do you see shooting Black boys versus Black boys shooting Black boys? And so we have to look at it, and we have to understand that we are our own worst detriment. We're more dangerous to each other than the cops are to us. We don't understand that. And that's the problem. You know, the people that are inside, that are seeing you every day, that are going to the same corner stores, the same gas stations, the same everything, those are the people that are most dangerous to you or the most helpful to you. It's a matter of how we see each other.
Yes.
And so I think that's what at least that's what I've learned. The self-hate is on full display. It's on front display, like the best item in the store. It's on front display.
So
you cannot deny it anymore. And I think that's why Dellguan was saying we almost have to watch that video. So I'm gonna go back. I don't want to, and I'm not necessarily saying that Dellguan is forcing me to, but he's also giving me a different perspective.
He's giving you a critical,
at least
a critical thought that maybe I should watch it just to not watching it for entertainment, but to see these facts played out on the camera, you guys. If you can watch it, and it don't bother you, something's wrong with you, because it does. It's emotional. If it doesn't draw any emotion, then something's wrong. But I watched it. I didn't want to watch it, but I had to in order to have this critical conversation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, and if you're gonna call yourself a general, you got to understand that you're gonna step over some dead bodies. Unfortunately, anybody who's been in war, anybody who's been in the army, unfortunately, if you're afraid of death, go home. Go home. It's not the place for you.
Can I add something on top of that?
Oh, go ahead.
But this is the flip side. You know that because earlier Anthony was like, yo, so what can we do as far as in like for black people or black men? We know so we've seen how we've seen this show, not this one, but I'm saying we have this conversation every year with the kid riding around shooting people, young Dolph before that, Snooty Wild, like Memphis, that's it, right? So now it's time to try a new curriculum. I think that let's try working together for 1 year as black people. Why don't we just try 1 year of all of us working together, no civil war, no debate. We're gonna try one curriculum. We're gonna try because curriculums don't age and they don't have a color. So you can be like, well, you know what? We all different. But the curriculum ain't. Because if we all go to Walmart, we got to work. Everybody put on the same uniform. We got to be there at the same time. We know where to put the baskets at. Anfa, she in the cereal. I'm in the radio department. Man, you know what I'm saying? So the curriculums work. I'm saying I have 1 year curriculums that I guaranteed to work. That I bet anything on it because I've seen it work on a small scale. Again.
So your curriculum, is it a financial curriculum? What type of curriculum is it?
The end game is always income. Always. Okay. Yeah. So, but again, when you work, ain't nobody, listen, you ain't in no situations like that. People that's, you know what I'm saying, like working or whatever, you ain't getting you don't never see people that get jobs or productive citizens doing stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying,
right.
And I'm not talking about Nicholson. I'm saying the solution. I'm saying black people. We have seen how it doesn't work, from the marching to the debating,
the protesting, none of that. Black Lives Matter.
Right.
None of that works. None of that works.
It doesn't work. I'm saying try my way. Let's do a curriculum where we work together annually on projects. We stick together.
Yes,
join the 901 union. We meet every Sunday. We come up with solutions. We bring all our resources.
Yes,
like
I love it.
It's crazy how a lot of black. I think every black person in Memphis should know Marco McClendon. He's right across the street. He's a black mayor. He won 2 terms.
So Dellguan, why don't we, you and I, with 901 and FIG, because your 901 union is always on Sundays when I do my show. Why don't we get together and come up with something that we can roll out? You know what I'm saying? With your talking about teaching group economics. Can we do that?
Yeah, because let me say this too.
Because you really teach a lot of group economics, and I love that about what you do.
Yeah, everybody knows something, from mechanics to paint jobs. Man, we have so many resources.
Yes, we do.
The fact that we don't have a platform. Y'all remember Black Planet? It feel like every black person was on Black Planet, right? We don't. So that's all we have to. Let's try my way 1 year. Yeah. Then we can go. If y'all don't like it, we can go back to whatever it been. But I can guarantee you, man, once you go my way, you never turn back.
Because what Dellguan does, you guys, he puts these really good critical, and I'm using the word critical, financial literacy. About if 100 people, you always give these example, gave $10 a month for 12 months, how much that would be to help one person, then the next year to do the same thing to the next person. That's group economics, you guys. We need to practice that. And then we can all help each other in our individual businesses. If we said for 1 year, we're going to help, 901 union. Everybody donate $10 a piece, 100 people, 50 people, whatever, $50 a month or whatever. We could actually combine our resources, because right here, just us, we're wealthy. Mike, you wealthy, I'm wealthy. Dellguan, Robert, Quinten. And I'm talking about wealth of knowledge, wealth of know how to do stuff, wealth of determination and want to make things better. If we pool our wealth together, what we know, we could do that. I'm for that, Dellguan.
And let me say this.
We can become our own bank.
Right. Listen, this is one thing we practice. We just started. Like, we'll pick an entrepreneur every month, and everybody has to either buy their product or use their service.
I love that.
Like we might pick her for next month, right? So whatever service she is, if she got a book, I don't care how old it is, she might think it's old, but we ain't got it, it's new to me. So she might say, well, I'm selling my book. Everybody for that month, I think that's what Black History Month should be. It should be like,
come on, brother, you
support each other, right?
Come on, brother, you talking.
Man, right, this what God loves. So we'll pick that person. Like this month, we're promoting Dwayne Chafin.
Yep.
Coffee.
It's coffee.
Grindhouse Coffee. It's Grindhouse Coffee, which is asking for y'all to get one bag.
It's called what? Grindhouse?
Grindhouse Coffee.
Grindhouse Coffee.
Like grinding. Grindhouse Coffee.
I mean, grindhouse coffee.
Like grinding. You know what I'm saying? For real. So, with
I'm
that being said, we're practicing group economics and groupism. And that's the best way to do it. We picking somebody, you're gonna win as long as you in the pool. Just wait your turn. We don't care what you're selling or whatever your service is. Yeah, we're gonna get it.
I'm with you. Count me in. Count me in, Dellguan.
My brother, I'm in too.
Count me in too. Because right now, we're powerful sitting right here. I don't know, we all are powerful. Let me read this last comment. Lee Wright says, what do y'all think we can do to change these behaviors though? Black against Black in particular. It starts with the education that we're talking about. Teaching self-love, self-empowerment. Because when you don't love yourself, that's how you kill somebody else. That's what self-hate is. That's what
it's funny that's a segue for what the Lord had me say. I think it was early 2000. There was a sniper named John Allen Muhammad.
Yeah, in Washington.
And I was in the DC area when he was sniping the area. And we all thought that it was a white person.
Yep.
First rip, the sniper was a white guy who was killing.
Yep.
Now when he actually asked for the money, his ransom money to be put on a credit card, then of course I thought it was a Black person, right? I'm just being funny right now.
Okay.
But the reason that I bring it up is because a lot of times we are looking at Black people as if they cannot respond on the other thoughts of what we normally would think. And what happens when people of color begin to act like colonizers really is what the issue is. And so for us, we've got to be able to, one, identify when they act like that, give them the leadership that they need to pull them back out of that thought process. And I think what Dellguan is saying is very, very good. One of the things that I want to volunteer for, Dellguan, I have a 22-footer trailer that I can bring down. We can teach kids how to build. We can teach them how to run lawn care services, window washing, leaf blowing, gutter cleaning, garage organizing. And I'm teaching youth how to, at the 8th grade, if you believe in college, how to make $34,000 in the summer alone for the next 5 summers to pay their way through college, later for scholarships.
Yeah, you've been doing that for a while, right?
And so I'm in. I'll come down there. You guys just let me know. But here's the thing. It must begin to be national. It just can't be local anymore, because I see a lot of guys like us who are local, but we don't talk across neighborhoods, and we have to begin to start to talk across neighborhoods. It's going to be very, very important for us to do this, to have this movement really grow like it needs to be. And then we need to let people know when they mess with our leaders. So listen, Mike, listen, Quinten, listen, Dellguan, listen, Afra. If somebody is messing with you, I'm there. I got your back.
Well, one thing I know now, for sure, for me, Dellguan, you let me know that last week. I'm protected. I am.
So you guys don't have to worry about anything. And if you get a call from me, no, I'm not just calling for no reason. But no, I feel like you guys have my back also.
Yeah, and so, but you know,
you good, brother. You always good.
That's a good brotherhood here tonight, you guys, on Yams 3C since we started this show, Robert. Lee says she loves this. She loves what we're talking about, you guys. We're talking about so many things, but it all is born out of what has happened, you guys. We're having this critical conversation, but we also want to take some action. So from here, we're talking about us getting together to support each other in what Dellguan has already started, the group economics. We need to understand that we all we got. But guess what? We all we need.
That's it.
You know, we're all we need to help each other and to help our children, you guys, because the people who are supposed to take care of us, we have failed our young kids. And when it's their time to take care of us, they're not going to know what to do. And we're going to be at the hands of a different form of slavery, you guys. So what we're teaching here is about how to take control of our families so that we can stop what is happening. What happened with TYRE, it just highlighted the bigger issue of what's been going on for quite some time, you guys. Black men killing Black men, you know? So if there's nothing else, you guys, I got to get up early in the morning. I've been off for 3 days because of we had this snow situation or ice storm here in Memphis, but I do have to go to work tomorrow. Any last comments from you, Mike? I'm going to give you guys a minute.
Hey, it's been good tonight.
Yeah.
Always a pleasure with you brothers.
Hope you can join us next week. We'll be back next week. Quinten, any last words?
No, I just appreciate all you brothers, and I'm just a phone call away. Robert, I'm coming to Detroit, man. If I got to come out there and take care of some business, man, we got to roll up our sleeves and get dirty. So be it, man. You know, that's just what it is. And you know, my brothers here in Memphis, man, one day you already know what's going on, man. So yeah.
Robert, you got to come down, you know, eventually. Robert does.
I can't wait.
Yeah, Robert does a lot. You know, he's really good in community service. With it, you still do Camp Epic with the kids every year, Robert?
Yeah.
Any last words from you, Robert, real quickly?
So, as I told you guys on the Labor Day weekend, I'm doing a men's retreat.
Yeah.
I've been praying on what direction to take, and Dellguan just made it final.
Yes,
a yearly meeting that men who are nationally across the U.S. need to meet somewhere so that we can have it. It's in the Yakagani Mountains. I'm going to invite you guys officially, but I had a thought on what I wanted to do. But Dell and any of the guys on this platform, if you want to have some say-so in how we program that, I welcome it. It's something that I've been doing for 33 years, but it was just more recreation. Now it's more serious. And so I want to take it to the next level. And so it's the first time I'm doing just men. I usually do young adults, women, their families, etc. But now I think it's just for men. And I'll be reaching out to you guys if you want to have some input in it, so that we can go out, camp, get some man stuff done, but at the same time create some systems that we can put together yearly, like you're saying, Dellguan, so that we can begin to address these issues. Listen, it's time for the empire to strike back.
Come on.
It's time.
It is. Ali says exactly. The youth need us so bad. They need us so bad. Yes, they do. They need strong leaders and positive role models. Keep doing what y'all doing. I love it. Can't wait to join y'all. Thank you, Lee. Are you here in Memphis, Lee? Let me know that. Robert is talking about a retreat that he's having a Labor Day weekend. It's for men. It's in the Allegheny. What do you say it's going to be, Mike?
The Yakagani Mountains in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, Pennsylvania. I saw that. You gave me the link. I think it's a great time for men to bond because you guys don't come together and cry and share your life stories, your problems, your situations, or your joys and happiness, or pool your money together. I think that's a great idea. She says, yes, I live in Memphis. Dellguan, what is it learn with what have you learned? What has this taught you?
We always got to have these conversations. We got to have this. And I'm saying food for thought. Type in 901union.com if you're interested. You don't have to be an entrepreneur. You might want to patronize black businesses.
901union.com.
Right, 901union.com. Join it. Definitely, man. Let's do a retreat. I like exactly what you're doing. See, we have to come together annually, especially black men. So because the black women got to feel protected. A lot of black women don't even feel protected. They looking at us like we the ops, and we doing all these shows, debates with each other. That shit weird. We don't need to do that. We need to be showing. We need to be the language of love. We got to lead by example. Join the 901 Union.
I love that.
All of these entrepreneurs, forward thinkers, problem solvers, solutionary groups.
Come on now.
Man, we are here. Just put 901union.com and just look at the page. You ain't got to join, just look at it. And if you feel comfortable, it's free 99. It's free 99.
Yeah, you guys. So you guys are all powerful. Robert, if you need my help, and I know you probably do need a little bit of my help, to promote your event and to help you in any way, I got you.
Yeah, I'm going to need help.
You're going to need help to do this.
I'm still a builder. Cool. I appreciate that, brother.
Yeah, so I'll be, and if you need me to come, I will too. I won't have to come out there with y'all though, but the administrative part of what you plan to do, you always put on these great events. So I love your consciousness on that. But we're gonna close today, you guys. I got to finish my. I'm doing Yams, or FIG production in Yams. We are honoring 28 Black history makers, and yesterday I was the first one I did. Chad Rose here in Memphis. I honored him with a Black history maker. We're still making history, and today I did LaToya Polk for her opening the first female-owned, Black-owned comedy club here in Memphis. And tomorrow I'm doing Antonio Larson, a playwright here. I'm doing Dellguan eventually, and I'm going to do Mike Love. He is one of those. So Mike and Dellguan, you guys are coming up in another week or so. I'll be honoring you guys. But I'm honoring 28 people, Black history makers, because we are still making positive history. I'm one of those history makers, you guys, with the Yams talk show and FIG production. So I appreciate you guys. I will be back on Sunday. I'm interviewing an actress, local actress here. Her name is Deja Summerall, I think. I'll be back on Sunday, and we'll be back again live next Wednesday with Yams 3C, Critical and Conscious Conversations. Thank you guys. It's been a great conversation, productive conversation, and we're going to make some things happen, okay? Thank you guys. All right, so Robert, this is Amphra at FIG Productions, home of the Yams talk show, where we don't employ people. We what, y'all? We empower them. Thank you guys. I'll see you guys later. Thank you. Good show.
Much love, guys. Peace out.